Some mysteries fade with time. Others grow stronger the longer they stay unsolved. In the mountains of Poland, there is a story people never stopped whispering about. A heavily guarded train, loaded during the collapse of Nazi Germany, entered a tunnel and never came out again. No wreckage, no records, no survivors. Just a disappearance so clean it almost feels intentional. For decades, historians dismissed it as wartime folklore. Panic creates rumors, and war creates thousands of them. But this one refused to die. Because the deeper people looked, the more uncomfortable details they found. Hidden tunnels, erased railway lines, sealed chambers, and a pattern of stolen wealth that historians know was very real. The world calls it the Nazi gold train. And what makes this story fascinating isn't just the treasure. It's the possibility that something wasn't hidden to protect wealth, but to hide evidence. Tonight, we're not chasing a myth. We're examining why the legend refuses to disappear. The train that never arrived. Near the end of the war, Germany was collapsing fast. Cities were evacuating, officials were destroying files, and transportation networks were moving anything considered valuable away from advancing armies. In that chaos, witnesses described a strange train unlike ordinary military transport. It was armored, heavily guarded, and handled with extreme secrecy. Locals remembered soldiers refusing to let anyone near the tracks while crates were loaded under tight supervision. Some claimed they saw valuables, gold objects, paintings, sealed containers marked with official insignia. Others remembered something stranger, the sense that whatever was being transported mattered far more than weapons or supplies. The train reportedly headed toward a remote mountainous region, and then it vanished. Not destroyed, not captured, simply gone. No arrival record was ever found. Railway documentation from the area contained unexplained gaps. After the war, certain track routes no longer appeared on updated maps. On its own, that could be dismissed as confusion in a collapsing country, but the location changed everything. The mountains with a hidden interior. The area where the train supposedly disappeared was not ordinary wilderness. Beneath it existed a vast underground construction project carved directly into rock. Miles of tunnels had been dug in total secrecy. Large chambers, unfinished corridors, blocked passages. A network so extensive that even today parts remain inaccessible. Thousands of forced laborers had been used to excavate it. Many never left. Records were incomplete, plans were fragmented, and several sections appeared intentionally sealed before construction was finished. Historians still debate the true purpose of the complex. Some believe it was intended as a protected headquarters. Others suspect storage facilities or weapons research. But one detail is certain. It was built to hide things. If a train carrying sensitive cargo needed to disappear without a trace, there would be few better locations. Why the story never died. After the war ended, stories continued quietly among residents. People reported finding railway remnants leading directly into hillsides. Others described distant metallic sounds underground. Generations grew up hearing about a hidden train. Most treated it like local folklore. Interesting, but unlikely. Then history complicated the skepticism. Across Europe, massive quantities of stolen wealth were discovered hidden in mines, bunkers, caves, and lakes. Entire collections of art appeared in underground vaults. Gold reserves were recovered from locations no one had suspected. Investigators confirmed something crucial. The Nazi regime had systematically hidden valuables as defeat approached. Not small amounts, enormous ones. And even after decades of recovery efforts, a significant portion was never located. So the idea of a missing transport stopped sounding impossible. It became plausible. The modern search. Many years later, researchers announced they had detected an unusual underground object matching the size and shape of a train buried beneath soil. The claim spread globally within days. Authorities secured the area, experts scanned the ground, media gathered from around the world. For a moment, it seemed history was about to reopen. But when excavation finally happened, nothing resembling a train appeared at that location. To most observers, that should have ended the story. Another legend is explained by geological formations and hopeful interpretation. Instead, the mystery deepened. Because historians realized the excitement wasn't created out of thin air. It came from a long chain of strange consistencies, missing documentation, confirmed hidden treasures elsewhere, and a location designed specifically for concealment. The legend survived not because proof was found, but because proof of hiding had existed before. The pattern of disappearances. During the war, authorities confiscated enormous amounts of property, jewelry, currency, art, personal belongings, and records. Some of it was recovered after the conflict, some wasn't. Entire cultural artifacts vanished. Shipments were rerouted without paperwork. Containers were sealed and transported without standard tracking. Certain archives referenced transfers that never reached destinations. It created a disturbing possibility. Not everything hidden was meant to be retrieved. Some materials may have been concealed simply so they would never be discovered. And that changes the meaning of the train entirely. Instead of a treasure convoy, it could have been a moving vault of things someone wanted erased from history. The human side of the mystery. When people imagine the gold train, they picture bars of gold and priceless art. But historians studying wartime confiscations emphasize something different. Records, documents, personal property cataloged in industrial detail, lists of names, inventories of belongings, evidence of lives processed through systems designed to remove identity. If such records existed in large quantities, their exposure after the war would have had enormous consequences, not financial, historical. That possibility is why the legend unsettles people, not because treasure might still be buried, but because the cargo may have represented memory itself. A sealed train would become more than hidden wealth. It would become a hidden archive. Why no clear answer exists? Many famous discoveries happened dramatically. Doors opened, photographs released, artifacts displayed. But some investigations end quietly. Sites become restricted. Reports state technical. Interest fades. Not always because something shocking was found, sometimes because nothing conclusive can be proven without destroying the site itself. The mountains remain unstable in places. Some tunnels collapse when disturbed, others flood. Excavation risks damaging whatever might exist inside. So the question remains suspended between history and possibility. Not proven, not disproven. What the legend really means. The Nazi gold train endures because it sits at the intersection of three realities. War created chaos in the records. Hidden wealth was undeniably real, and underground facilities capable of concealment existed exactly where witnesses placed the train. Most myths lack structure. This one has too much. Whether a train still rests underground is uncertain, but historians agree on one thing. Large amounts of history from that period remain missing. And sometimes a legend survives not because of imagination, but because it points toward a gap no one has filled. Maybe the train is still buried. Maybe it never existed exactly as described. But the persistence of the story tells us something important. History doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it waits, incomplete, until someone asks the right questions again. What do you think? Was it a hidden treasure, lost records, or just a story born from chaos? Comment on your theory below. and subscribe for more real mysteries where the truth is often stranger than fiction.